Well, Swivelheads, this is Greg Awesome Green Gregs. The intensity of the wars, the conflicts, and the potential for war is increasing on all fronts. It is getting uglier by the day. The Israelis and Hamas are back at it. Israelis and Hezbollah are trading shots. The Israelis are heading down into the Red Sea. The Houthis have fired on American ships, the carnies and commercial ships, including a UK ship, and they hit one with a missile. There is tensions now increasing in the South China Sea. It is a case that the Philippines are trying to dig in a little bit, and the Chinese have accused the United States of violation of their sovereignty, a serious violation of their sovereignty, because one of our ships sailed next to the Second Thomas Shoal, where the Philippines have one of their ships moored since World War II wreck that they are resupplying. And the UN actually had earlier ruled in favor of the Philippines here and claimed it's Philippines territory, but China claims it because China claims that they're ready to accuse the United States of violating their sovereignty, which is way apart from their area. We're going to go into this stuff. We're going to talk about even Venezuela is about to declare apparently war on Guyana. I mean, guys, it's all over the world stuff is direction. North Korea is claiming that if we take out their satellites, that's a declaration of war. And, we had made some claim to that effect when they launched that spy satellite recently that we might take out something we have the capabilities to. And, guys, it's just picking up the intensity. Oh, gold is up, record highs. It's been going up for about 3 days now, apparently. And Bitcoin is up, and the dollar is apparently down. It's got to be down if the others are up. So the BRICS are really trying to do the dollar in. So I'm going to cover the war news, the economic news, a bit of social news. We'll look at the weather and the earthquakes. Philippines just got hit by a 7.7 magnitude earthquake, which is horrible in that country. So they're having a lot to deal with over there. We've got solar flares threatening to solar storms to us again. There's a big coronal hole on the sun. Guys, this is getting biblical. I mean, holy smokes. If you're not prepping, what are you doing? I mean, guys, it's good to listen to stuff like this. I'm trying to bring you the news, but you better be getting ready. You better be getting your house in order. You better be getting yourself in order, getting right with your maker and everything else in the territory, because holy smoke, guys, it's coming at us in spades from every direction. So I'm going to go into the news. I'm first just going to refresh my page here where I can keep up with the chat sessions. I have harvested, sorry for bringing this on so late, folks. I have harvested worms today. I've had a lot of email I've had to catch up on. I've had to catch up on so many things. My email was not working. I had to call GoDaddy. Every call to GoDaddy is like a 2-hour marathon session to get anything fixed. And it really stinks. It really stinks. I pay them a lot of money just to be able to have all this websites and emails and stuff. And I'm not a happy camper with them. I'll be honest. I am just not a happy camper because I'm having to call them way too often, and it takes way too long to fix problems. And I got other email systems that don't have any problems I've had for years and years and years and years and years. So what the heck is it with all that? But it looks professional. I don't know. I'm getting sick of it. But anyway, guys, enough of all that. That's something I need to do a bunch of videos on product papas in the near future. I got a lot of stuff to discuss there. But I just don't have time. It's hard for me, guys. I struggle to bring you these videos. That's why I'm so late. I struggle. I missed 2 nights in a row. I had plenty of content I wanted to cover this week, and I couldn't get to it. I just couldn't get to it. I'm so far behind trying to catch up here. But anyway, not enough of my personal stuff. Y'all don't want to hear all that. So I'm going to bring you the news, and at the end we'll go through the chat session here and see what all you guys are saying in the chat session, because this is a live session, guys. But I'll say that conversation for later, for the sake of our coffee club guys who want to get the news. And speaking of that, here we go. I'm going to do the share screen. Ding, ding, ding. And here we go. USS Carney. Several commercial ships attacked in the Red Sea, according to the Pentagon. And this Carney is the ship that actually shot down, it's the same ship that shot down 2 Houthi missiles in the past. And it's also taken out other things. This ship's been involved in other engagements. This ship is a veteran of actions. So See here, it said previously shot down missiles and drones, and apparently there were some drones that it took out in this incident too. So, guys, it's really heating up. This is the Carney, which has been under attack, and there it is shooting back. There are some of your crew members. They can't be that cold in the Red Sea, though. Come on. That must be another photograph from another engagement. Who knows? Anyway, guys, 3 commercial ships attacked here, it says. And, of course, the Houthis actually claim responsibility. So, guys, we're on the verge of maybe really getting into it with the Houthis. This is a very serious thing here, this potential real expansion of this war. Israel, apparently, they've been firing at Israel, and Israel is apparently sending ships down there to do something. So this war could absolutely expand. And, of course, that's not going to go over too well in the Islamic world. But anyway, so, and here's one. Here's a new big bombshell. And I might have made this the headline, except I don't know how to take it. Hamas official hints at another attack on Israel bigger than October 7th. My question is, while right now Gaza is being pounded, I mean absolutely pounded to dust, how in the world, when they're under such attack, could they pull off an operation bigger than October 7th? I'm not going to say they can't do it, and it might be something that would be done in conjunction with Hezbollah or some other outside group. It's just hard for me to imagine how they would stage this from Gaza right now, but maybe they could. Maybe they got something up their sleeves that we don't know about, because they sure as the world snuck in a big one on us on October the 7th. Or did they? That's another question. Guys, with all this stuff going on, if you're not prepping, like I said, what are you doing? Literally, what are you doing if you're not prepping? Guys, right now, if you go to prepwithgreg.com, let's go back to that page. I got windows overlaying what I'm trying to do here. They're aggravating me with Zoom. Let's see here. Let's just take it back to prepwithgreg.com. Oh, I don't like the way it does that. Here we go. If you go to prepwithgreg.com, you got some specials available to you right now. My Patriot Supply has reintroduced a $200 off special for 3 months supply of food. $579 for 3 months supply of food. It lasts 25 years. And it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Over 2,000 calories a day. Guys, this is 21 varieties. This comes in these 6 rugged, waterproof buckets here, water resistant. It says these buckets are sealed, and the pouches within them are sealed. You can bury this stuff, and that's what you need to do for caches. You don't need to really think about bugging stuff. It's easy to bug out with, because these buckets are lightweight, so and are easy to carry, a lot more so than a lot of the other prepping supplies you get from other companies that come in big boxes, like the one company that at one time was showing commercials of them pushing it across the threshold. Really? That's not what you want when you got to bug out. You need something that you can grab and go. Your kids can pick these up. But guys, if this is not, they got of course, the 2-week supply, which each bucket is 2 weeks. You can get that. That's a good price if you can't afford the other, and you got to consider there's other prepping supplies you need. If you're not going in here and getting your water purification stuff now, you need to think about your air purification, water purification, all that stuff's in here. You can get a number of different things here. Christmas gift ideas. You can look for price ranges. So there's a lot of heirloom seeds. Of course, I'd tell you go to True Leaf Market for that. There's a lot of things in here. Deals of the day. You might want to just see what their deals are. You got camp stoves, all kind of stuff in here. Or you can buy stuff in number 10 cans. I got a bunch of stuff in number 10 cans, guys. So that's a good way to store a lot of stuff if you're going to keep it in your pantry. Anyway, guys, let's get back to the news. That's prepwithgreg.com. U.S. and Israeli officials react to this, guys. A blockbuster report that Israel knew. There's a report out there that said Israel knew that Hamas was planning an attack. You got to be kidding me. Really? Well, I kind of alluded to that. How is it that this could be done without them knowing about it? How is it that they could have slipped across that border with so many sensors that if a birdie took a poop, they were supposed to know about it, yet, thousands of their forces came out and took Israeli bases and attacked civilians all in the area there. And the thing that when I first saw the video of it, I laughed at it first, was the idea of these guys coming in paragliders. Well, the reason I laughed at it is you're hanging from a paraglider. That's a slow platform. You're way up in the air. Anybody can see. You're an instant target. And I'm here to tell you, if you can be seen in the battlefield, you can be taken out in 2 to 4 seconds. Bang, just like that, fast. Visibility in the battlefield is a sentence of non-existence, of a discontinuation of your being. So how is it that a large force was able to invade and attack another country, another area, with guys floating in on paragliders? It looked very James Bondish, but how did they even have the confidence to go on a paraglider? They had to know that nobody was going to be pointing bang bangs at them. See, that was the one thing that really stuck out. At first, I laughed when I saw it, but then when I saw what they really did, it's like, oh my God, there's something really wrong with this picture. There's no way that should have been able to happen, but it did. It did. And it was very ugly. Or they went into the music festival and other things like that. A bunch of guys on paragliders across the fence for hundreds of yards or further, floating in the air, easy targets, and not a one of them was taken out. They had the confidence to know that they weren't going to be taken out, apparently. And how did they get that? I don't know, guys. There's too many questions. This is too weird. This is too weird. Too weird. Hey, guys, what's going on here? So, just something don't add up about that. How can you go into a field of battle wide open? I've always laughed at the movies with, these, hero characters who are standing up with an M60 under each hand out in the wide open, mowing down people behind fences and other things, where you can't see them. It's like, really? That would never happen. That guy would be taken out in a couple seconds at least, and that would be a long time for facing a force of other people. And I've seen that in Hollywood movies. Even Chuck Norris, he was one of the characters that played one of those things. Now you got to know I hope he knows better than that. Of course, he's a martial arts guy, not really a military guy, but he's an actor. But then again, that's probably what the script writers told him to do. Script writers get their ideas. No, this is the way to do it. We got to do it this way. Yeah, it looked good. It looked good in Hollywood, but anybody with any military training knows that's ludicrous. It's ridiculous. So how does this happen? How does it happen? I really got it. It bugs me. It really bugs me. So another thing, if the people in Israel had a nug culture, if you would say, or if they had to right to armed bearers, I have a hard time thinking that all that stuff would have went down the way it did. Anyway, that's just a little plug for our number 2 in our Constitution, if you know what I mean. All right, guys. So but what happened here? This merits some serious investigation. They claim we're going to have to get to the bottom of this after the war. Really? Will they really get to the bottom of it, or is it going to be a whitewash? Well, to kind of up the ante, the U.S. is sending bunker buster bombs to Israel. This is according to Al Jazeera. But it's not just a few. Apparently, we're sending thousands of bunker busters to Gaza. Wow, guys. These are very serious. U.S. has sent Israel 15,000. Well, that's going to go over well in that community. They're not going to think the U.S. is involved in this. No, well, they won't target us as a result of that. Well, I don't know, guys, but it's just I'm not taking sides here. I'm just letting you know that all this stuff means that the prospects of you having a target on your back are going up. The prospects of all this stuff increasing are going up. More and more people and nations are getting involved. And even China's got ships in the Eastern Mediterranean Sea about this. What are they doing there? Anyway, here's a stash here, John Bolton, who we like to just call Stash. Hey, I got a bigger mustache than him, so why don't we call this guy Stash? But anyway, Former security director criticizing Biden over his response to Israel and Hamas conflict. And he says that the administration's got to stop the constant nitpicking. And, you might take sides with them on this one. I mean, even Stash, gets it right a couple times a day like a broken clock. And even Lindsey Graham occasionally gets it right. I would have to agree with him that that the Secretary of Defense Milt Dud Austin is somewhat less than awe-inspiring, if you know what I mean. Somewhat less than awe-inspiring. But in this case, Austin might have made a point, because he was at least saying, hey, we're just making more martyrs and more combatants in these territories. But, is that a reason not to try to flush Hamas out? That's a whole nother debate. I'm not wanting to get into that or take any sides on it. But, guys, just letting you know the dimensions of what's cooking there and the allegations going around. And, of course, Biden is being hit from many different angles on this, as you might expect that President Potato might get hit. Anyway, both wouldn't have a something out of place in it'd be World War I would be hit. Wouldn't have looked out of place in World War. Now that it's gone up, I can see. All right. Joe Biden's flecklessness may bring down the hands of Israel. And, for better or for worse, whatever you think, the Ukrainians say he's not sending enough stuff over to them, but, we've sent a lot of stuff there. So I don't know, guys, it's, this is a post editorial for whatever you want to make of it. But, this guy himself is somewhat less than absolutely awe-inspiring, if you know what I mean. President Potato Head. Oh, well, so much for that. Oh, what? Get that off my screen. Uh-oh. All right, New York Post, you've been posting stuff without putting that on there. Let's see. They want me to go do. I'm trying to block ads. No, I'm not going to do that. Bye-bye. Because it kills my server. I have a hard time putting all these articles up as it is. A bunch of ads. I can't put as much stuff up. Well, whatever that was, we won't see that now. Jeez. I just had a New York Post article. I didn't have to deal with that, but there it was. Anyway, well, Baghdad warned the U.S. over attacks on Iraqi territories. And, if you strike back at our rogue militias that strike at you, you're going to have a problem with us, right? You got to be kidding me. They should be shutting down those militias themselves, but, the government there is Shia. They are predominantly in favor of Iran, even though we put them in power, basically, by taking Saddam and his Ba'ath Party out. So much thanks we get. These guys love to bite the gift horse, I guess, or bite the hand that feeds them, but now Iran is feeding them. So, well, that didn't stop us. Here's the news. They warned us, don't do anything. Well, that didn't stop us because we fired back. U.S. military officials confirmed self-defense strike in Iraq. Took out 5, according to this. But the Islamic resistance vows retaliation after the U.S. did that. So it's picking up, guys. It is really picking up. I'm not kidding you. It has happened over. It is picking up. Hey, just Arizona. So Israel expands Gaza ground offensive. Vows to hit the south with no less strength than north. They are hitting all over. They are hitting Gaza everywhere. So that's just so you'll know, this has really picked up. It's they have went in, even though it's claimed there's still 150 hostages out there, and the Gazans have said you're not going to get the hostages back until all of this stops. But they've also don't know where 70 of them is. They've kind of lost track of them because apparently they don't have that good a control over some of their people, or maybe it's because it's the fog of war. They've lost track of 70 of the hostages, which is almost half, or it would be half actually if it's 140. So that's pretty interesting. So what's happening with that? Well, Israel has, decided they just can't wait any longer. They got to take Hamas out if they can. So Israel and Hezbollah trade fire across the Israel-Lebanon border for third day. There's been missiles going back and forth, and it's back. So, this whole thing can really pick up. But, there's a bigger question here. Hey, Knopman's wife. way down in Florida on the East Coast where it's 3:30 in the morning, new days, 3:30 in the morning, East Coast. So guys, here's a bigger question with all of this. How can Israel win in this case? When the strategy of the attacker is to prompt you, to get you to respond by attacking Gaza to take them out. If that's what they wanted, and that's what they're doing, how does Israel win in a situation like that? Really? They're doing exactly what Hamas wanted them to do, to the expense of the Gazans, which 44% of in the poll said they would vote for Hamas again. 44%. That's not the majority, mind you, but that is a very large, sizable proportion of the country, considering what they're suffering through right now as a result of all this. That tells you how many of them really believe in what's going down. 44%. Not a majority. Not a majority, but a very significant portion of the population, probably more than support any other party, and that's how Hamas took power in the first place there, is they didn't have a majority, but they had the largest voting bloc. So, guys, it's a sad situation all the way around. I feel for the people on October the 7th. That was horrendous what happened to them, but also feel for the people in Gaza. Look, that means that at least 56% probably aren't exactly 100% happy with what's going on there. You know, there's women and children there. So, you know, this is and old people and just people that have nothing to do with it that are suffering mightily. But, you know, what it is the bigger players in the world figure the Gazans are expendable because they got a bigger agenda. What is that bigger agenda? And we'll talk about that more in a little bit. But when Israel attacked, they attacked into Syria. Israel targeted Iranians who were training Hezbollah. They targeted Iranians who were training Hezbollah. So this gets closer to an Iran-Israeli war. And this whole thing may be set up for an American-Iranian war. Maybe why we got 2 ships in the Persian Gulf right now, 2 aircraft carrier strike groups. Why we got a nuclear submarine out there in the area. So there's a lot of stuff at risk here, guys. Of course, the biggest thing at risk if we get into a war with Iran is activation of sleeper cells here in America. That can come, or we want to think, though, that's all overseas. Iran is just this, it's just that. They launch satellites, guys. They are a formidable power. I don't think we could actually pull off an invasion of Iraq. Iran. Iraq, yes, we've done it. Iran is a different matter. They got a lot bigger military, a lot more modern, except for their aircraft. But now they're getting aircraft from Russia to make up for the old broken down F-4s that they had. Maybe a few old F-16s they might have had on them. But guys, they are hitting back here with hackers. See this article here? So even before the sleeper cells get activated, breaches by Iran-affiliated hackers span U.S. states, according to federal agencies. So they're hacking us and all kind of stuff. Remember I told you that the articles came out and said Microsoft said that Russia had hacked into all our defense systems and not Russia. Well, they may have. China had hacked into all of our defense systems, all of our defense software. Guys, this is how we control our systems. You know, we brag on being able to control our systems with computers, data fusion, to coordinate our attacks between all our different forces and modern weapons. When it's all hacked, then how are you going to pull that off? How are you going to pull it off when the Chinese are buying farmland near all our military bases when they know exactly what they're doing? How are you going to pull it off when they're putting in a big intel and possibly troop base in Cuba? Guys, we are being compromised from within and without is what it looks like. But this just shows you the intensity of what can really go down. Apparently, this stuff has not been triggered to create mayhem yet, but the software is there. This is what we've discovered. What is there that we haven't discovered? So, guys, this is some serious business. Some people think this was all And Canadian Prepper brought this up, so I'm going to give Canadian Prepper Nate credit for this. He claims that he had an intel source from Egypt that said that this was all about Hamas capturing this unit 8200, which is the main intel unit of Israel, which just happened to be located all too close to Gaza. And apparently they got a lot of military secrets there. They might have, he was worried about them having, U.S. military secrets. I don't know how much, there shouldn't have been a whole lot of U.S. military secret stuff on these servers in Israel, but might have been some. But what they might have got mostly was the data on the Israeli nuclear weapons, Israeli forces. So Israel will stand to be more compromised, but it almost looks like, according to Nate, and I could not argue with this, that maybe this was made open to them on purpose, and maybe U.S. intel was there on purpose just to incite us to get involved on behalf of Israel. I don't know. This is a weird game here that's hard to say, but I don't think that it was done just for this purpose, as that Egyptian intelligence source insinuated, because it's like this. He's an intelligence guy. He's going to see the intelligence targets, and to him, that's the most important thing. It's like the old depictions of an aircraft. To an electrician or electrical engineer, the aircraft's all electric servos and wires and electrical systems. To the aero guy, it's all wings. To the plumbing guy, it's all the plumbing. The airplane is what each side works on primarily, and the rest of it's kind of trivial. So, I think it's part and parcel of the worldview of the source, because several other major objectives have been accomplished by this. For one, it trashed the negotiations between Israel and Saudi Arabia, which was a primary objective of Iran. It's also incited the world against Israel, which is a primary objective of Iran and others. And Erdogan is definitely on board with that, and it's gave Iran bigger standing, and it may be the instigation of a bigger war. And I really think that is where it's going. And that goes back to this claim by Hamas that they got something up their sleeves that's bigger than October the 7th. Could that be? If so, what is it? I don't know. But, do the Israelis know about that one too? Yeah. Tell me. We will find out one day, maybe. But Iran is also able to make other gains domestically at home by scrubbing out some of their competition domestically. I'm not even going to repeat these words on this platform. It'll get me in all kind of trouble. But bad stuff is happening at home that they can get away with, while the smokescreen of the war and the attention diversion is going on. So they're gaining a lot of hay as a result of what's happening there. So now let's change theaters. Let's talk about the war in Europe, the biggest war in modern history since WW2 so far, which may be all part of WW3, all of this. Tectonic changes in world system. This is War News 24/7, guys. This is a Greek website. It claims Russia is on its way to victory with a definite defeat of NATO. So Zelensky is not a happy camper right now. Now, whether you buy into this or not, it may not be too far removed, because if we come over here, what we will find, Zelensky admits Ukraine's counteroffensive against Russia failed. Remember that big spring offensive? Remember how Ukraine was just going to go in and pound them? Well, it didn't do a lot for them, did it? Remember all the hoopla? We've broken through their lines. We've broken through their lines. We've broken through the lines of the Russians, which they said like 40 different times, like it was a brand new news item over and over. And I started getting crooked up because I kept hearing that story for too much, too often, too long. And I said, okay, you broke through the lines. You ought to do a counter move. You get behind their lines. You make movements. None of that ever happened. They pushed it a little bit in a few places. but they've not made great gains, except at the Dnieper River. They're apparently making some gains, but they got to be able to put a bridge across the Dnieper River if they're really going to take advantage of it. And there's dissent at home. Mayor of Ukraine's capital city, he is saying that it's getting very authoritarian in Ukraine, to the point that they're just like Russia now. There's no better than being under Putin, according to the Kyiv mayor, the mayor of the capital city. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko, however you say his name. So I don't know, guys. That's quite an indictment of the system at home. Not only that, but the head general of Ukraine apparently has got division with Zelensky. So Zelensky's survival within the system may be at stakes. So what's cooking here? Yeah, we'll talk about weather a little bit. Yeah, y'all getting hit past. Nothing we can cover weather, because the Northwest is getting pounded and about to get pounded some more. So claims Scottish, not royalist. There you go, JoJo. So now Zelensky says, well, the war is entering a new stage, but we need weapons and the world's attention. So, yeah, but he did admit that, hey, we did not get what we wanted. And this is their one hope, is that they're making that crossing the Dnieper River and the Kherson Oblast. They think they're going to be able to take Crimea, but they're going to have to get a lot of equipment across that river, and they got to have a bridge, and they got to push Russian forces back far enough that their pontoon bridge won't be destroyed by artillery or missiles. Can they do that? Can they actually pull that off? There's a big question, and I'm kind of skeptical of it, because Russia's still got Kinzels and a lot of stuff that even if they don't hit with artillery, you know they're going to target a pontoon bridge across that river. Now, maybe it can survive some hits and reconfigure and they go again. I don't know. Klaus would approve. Oh, yeah, he might approve of some of this. But if they succeed toward taking Crimea, watch out. If they succeed toward taking Crimea, Putin could use nuclear weapons. Military expert warns. You know, guys, I've been saying that for years on this channel, that Russia would go nuclear to defend Crimea. They don't want anybody to take it. To them, that's the prize. And that's how that taking Crimea in the first place in 2014 increased Putin's popularity a lot. It probably kept him in power. And by the way, he's actually very popular in Russia right now, believe it or not, even though he's sending his guys through the meat grinder. But, you know, there's lots going on, guys. This whole thing, Russia's Germany's shuttering their consulate in Kaliningrad. Kaliningrad is an exclave of territory of Russia that's surrounded by NATO countries and the Baltic Sea. Well, one of the reasons they want to get Sweden in NATO is to help close off the Baltic Sea for many reasons. One, it would surround Kaliningrad and cut off supplies to Kaliningrad, but it also would shut down Russian oil exports to a much larger degree. So there's a lot going on with forces gathering around Kaliningrad. This could be the site of a major conflict between NATO and Russia, and the forces are lining up where all the chess pieces are moving in place. But Russia has renewed their offenses in Avdiivka, however you say that. Avdiivka, it's got two I's in it. So is that long or short? Somebody told me I pronounced it correctly the other day, but I said it 3 or 4 different ways, so maybe one of them was right. But they are, even in the harsh winter conditions, this has been the meat grinder for the Russians. They have thrown a lot of people that are taking almost 1,000 casualties a day, much worse than the conflict over Bakhmut. So they really think this is vital, and they've not let up, even though it's costing them. They keep pouring their young men into the meat grinder here. But that don't work for them entirely, because they're having a lot of troops that are going AWOL. that are defecting, and that is affecting some of their critical systems that really require manpower, like their air defense system, which this article, I think, really focused on, but it's a bigger troop thing. But on the Russian side, the SA-15, that's their short-range surface-to-air SAM system, which they are really relying on to give their troop support from not getting hit from the air. So that is a critical thing to Russia, but the forces maintain. I think each system's a 3-man system, and these guys got to stay alert like 24/7. It's probably hard to do, keep that kind of concentration up over a long time, especially when guys are abandoning their post and running for the hills. I don't know, guys. I mean, who wants to be in a meat grinder? Who wants to go serve in a meat grinder? Not many people really want that. So, but anyway, but they keep pouring people in. Russia's got the resolve and still pipe, and Putin's still piping at home. You know, I said, as long as Russia has the will to keep it up in the long term, this is a war of attrition. And Ukraine, they're not making, we can send all kind of new armaments over there, but we can't create new Ukrainians. And that is where Ukraine is going to be in a world of trouble if this thing continues to play out in time. In a war of attrition, Ukraine don't stand much chance. So whatever you think about it, whatever side you take, I'm not taking a side. That's just a fact. You know, I'm a Southerner. That was our problem with the Great War of Northern Aggression. There was more of them than there was of us. Now, the smart generals knew that in the battlefield, the one that got there the fastest with the mostest was the winner. And the one who said that never lost an engagement he fought in. Even when he was outnumbered, he made the enemy think that he outnumbered them. You know what I'm talking about, General Forrest. Anyway, so he never lost a single fight he was in, not a one. He got surrendered by his higher level officers. So he never stepped up to the plate to surrender. He was not that kind of guy. So yeah, the North outspent the South 2-1. They also had 4-1 guys and industry and Navy to blockade. So, you know, but the war, you know, proportionally, what the South faced is much like what Ukraine faces in terms of a war of attrition. I'm not saying the people are the same, the situation is the same, but with respect to a war of attrition, it's very similar, very similar. And that's why I think Ukraine in the long term has got big trouble. That's why they really needed to make that spring offensive work. And the failure of the spring offensive is kind of like the failure of Lee at Gettysburg, in my humble opinion. I think Ukraine is in big trouble, big trouble. But anyway, here's another thing, though, that this makes it like it's some new news item. No, I've been seeing this kind of stuff for a while. It's been said for some time that the Russians have units out there whose job is to stop those who are defecting or surrendering. So I'm not even going to read this out loud because the platform will not appreciate it. So you make of it what you will. But the U.S. believes that we need to put a drastic punishment on Russia. And that drastic punishment is to cut their oil and gas revenue by 50% by 2030. 50% by 2030. Well, you know what? All the economic havoc we tried to wreak on Russia so far has failed. Because Russia's actually done fairly well economically in spite of all our sanctions and using our dollar as a weapon, which caused our dollar to be attacked by BRICS and is on the verge of losing its status as a world reserve currency and wreck our economy. So maybe we've damaged ourselves far more than we've damaged Russia in trying to punish Russia using the U.S. dollar, among other things. But apparently this strategy really goes back to, in part, shutting off the Baltic Sea. And this is why NATO wants, and Stoltenberg kind of got on to Erdogan and said, it's time now to approve Sweden to enter NATO. Erdogan probably just doesn't have much interest in it because Erdogan is distracted by this Hamas thing anyway. And he just never was a big fan of it. Erdogan likes to pander to both sides somewhat, but he did get into it with Russia. So I don't know, guys, where that's going. But, anyway. But Putin is spending more money on his military He's upping it by another 170,000 troops to increase the total number of troops to 1.32 million, of which, he's got maybe a quarter or a third of that engaged in, or less engaged in Ukraine. So, but he's got to have defenses in other areas, and they got to maintain their empire. So they can't focus everything on Ukraine and stay together as a country. Apparently, at least not yet. If they start really losing, they might do that. But the United States is responding by quadrupling munitions productions. I think this is like $3.1 billion in extra ammunition. I don't think this article tells you that, but we're spending a lot more money to try to get more ammo going. So even though the economy is sliding in a lot of areas, if you're in the defense industry, you're probably in good shape. Might be good stocks to invest in for the moment, for the short term, but I don't know, guys. I'm not an investment advisor, so don't take that to heart. So North Korea warns U.S. that any interference with space assets will be seen as a declaration of war. Note he said any interference. Now, we've apparently got some lasers up there that might blind their satellites, not burn them up, over the long distances. A lot of people think lasers are more powerful than what they really are so far in combat, although there's some new technology on the verge of coming out for some infrared lasers that might be 9 times more powerful than anything we've had, which could be a game changer, but that's still in a laboratory. It's going to be a few years before anything like that can be fielded at scale, several years probably. But there is some new laser technology that they've just made some discoveries in. It's like I said, it's in a laboratory on a lab bench. It takes a while to perfect that stuff and then to design it into a weapon system and get it in the field. So it's not going to be immediately available to us for some time. So currently lasers are good as a short-range weapon in a battlefield. That's all, short-range weapons. And probably not even good against hypersonics, because you got to really focus on something for some time, put enough heat on it to damage it. And the hypersonic is already designed to take a lot of heat to survive with a plasma. And I'm giving myself a bird bath with some coffee right now, which is a great, wonderful thing. So if you love coffee, you would really appreciate that, right? Up in my cup here I got in front of me. Hang on, I got to kind of mop this up. So bear with me a little bit here as I take my bird bath and coffee bird bath and mop this mess up like this spilt. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay. I dry my desk off. I'll really get it on me. Anyway, all right, guys. So let's move on. North Korea is, things are heating up with North Korea. We've got new tensions on the border since the 2018 treaty has been trashed. So North Korea, South Korea are really getting at it. So North Korea has warned that a physical war on the Korean Peninsula is a matter of time, not a possibility. So what you're saying, let me try to say, it's not something that might happen. It's not a matter of if it will happen, just when. That's how we say that. It's just a matter of when. So Kim Jong-un fully believes there's going to be a war. And that's what he's gearing up for. That's why he's got all this investment in nukes. And that's why South Korea now wants nukes. We put our submarine over there to try to mollify South Korea from wanting nukes. So I believe South Korea's got nuclear power plants. So this is probably something that they could attain or buy. South Korea wants nukes. They're not happy with our nuclear umbrella anymore. With North Korea staring them down the neck with all their systems, they're not a happy camper. All right. Well, what's happened with this article? And here we are with China. U.S. naval ship seriously violated China's sovereignty and security. We violated the security of China by floating a boat near a shoal that's occupied by a Filipino ship, an old World War II wreck that they beached on the shoal, the Second Thomas Shoal, which is well within the exclusive economic zone, according to the treaty signed by China, the Law of the Sea Treaty. and ruled by the Hague to be Philippines' right, not China's right. The Philippines had taken China to the World Court, and the World Court sided with the Philippines. Yet China ignores all this and says it's ours just because we want it. Because we say it's ours, it's ours. If you get close to it, then you are violating our territorial waters. You are challenging our sovereignty, our security. What security do they have there? They don't even have any people living there. It's Filipinos living there on that ship. So this is an egregious challenge put out by China. It just shows how aggressive they are. And I would say they're in the wrong on this. I'm going to take a side on that one, that China is in the wrong. China accuses U.S. ship of violating this source. This came out in the Hill, which is the paper you see anywhere if you're running the halls of Congress, you're going to see this paper on all the tables and all the cafeterias and congressional offices. It's like the main newspaper on inside the Beltway on the Hill itself, Capitol Hill. So it's aptly named the Hill. In any event, it's kind of a pretty much nonpartisan paper, because it has both parties reading into it, but China accuses the U.S. Navy of violating its sovereignty. It's not quite as pointy as this article, but that's what the Chinese actually said. So they toned it down a little bit over here in the Hill. Oh, well, you go figure that. Oh, yeah, this ship is the Gabrielle Gifford. You know, she was the Congress lady from Arizona who got terminated by some idiot. Her husband was an astronaut. Now he's a senator from Arizona, which I hope Arizona votes him out. So some of us kind of like Gabrielle when she was in the House, because she was very pro-space, the space angle at least. But she was a Democrat. So in any event, Philippines opens South China Sea outpost as it digs in against China. This is on the island, of course, that they were already occupying, but they built an outpost on it. So this is also another island well within their economic zone. Let's see, this is, what's the name of this island? It's the Thitu, Thitu, however you say that, island, right there. So it's not a major outpost, but it's an outpost. They are trying to keep their sovereignty over the territory they've had. And Ferdinand Marcos II has said he would not give up a single square inch to China. So you can see this is brewing. And the Philippines have also accused of China of swarming another reef off the South China Sea. No, that's not a swarm. No. Yeah, so that's what the Chinese are doing. They've got their Coast Guard down there. They've got these so-called fishing vessels, which are really military vessels disguised as fishing vessels, because all they're doing is going out there and doing military ops, just about it, and trying to blockade things. Anyway, well, if that's not enough, Venezuela's approved takeover of oil-rich region of Guyana. So we're going to have a war in South America. Wow, guys. See, the whole world is just cooking on war right now. But economically, we're near that inflection point, says billionaire Ray Dalio, because Americans now borrowing money. The United States is borrowing money, not just to pay for things. It's got to actually borrow money to service its debt. That's where, if you got to borrow money to pay off your credit card bills every month, you're digging a hole and you're going down fast. And that's what Ray Dalio says the United States is doing. We are digging a hole. We're borrowing money to pay our credit bills, not just the other stuff we normally borrow money for. We are in deep kimchi, to borrow an expression that's often used, although I like kimchi. Some people don't. It's rather pungent, but I like spicy stuff. But anyway, kimchi is a Chinese fermented cabbage, or some troops used to call it rotted cabbage. But anyway, I like it personally. Spiced up real nice. The cabbage is properly You know, it's fermented if you eat kraut, you know. Good probiotic, actually. Kimchi's good for you. And here we are, guys. Gold is up over $2,130. Bitcoin's above 40,000 as market calls Jerome Powell's bluff, you know, the head of the Federal Reserve. Well, guys, it's happening. See, I've had people on my channel over a couple months ago. I said, "Oh, Greg, you're saying gold to go up. Look, it's not going up." Well, look now. I said, I didn't say it's going to happen now. But look, it's happened. It has happened. It is happening. So there it is, guys. Gold is up. Bitcoin is up. That dollar is down versus gold at least. That's a good reason to go to defythegrid.com. If you go to defythegrid.com, look at that. Right now it says it's 2084. And that, I don't even know if that's the latest. Silver is up, gold is up, Bitcoin's up. So there's claims it's going to go much higher. This projection, and I'm not saying this will happen, but these guys are projecting to hit 5,000 in 3 years. It could. I won't say it won't. I won't say it will, but that's huge. So we may just be seeing the beginning. What you can bet is the BRICS currencies dig in and bite in against the US dollar. You might see more of this. So if you go to defythegrid.com, they got a deal in here. You can buy silver notes. You can buy silver coins, rounds, bars, platinum, gold. You can buy gold in rounds, coins, and bars, gold, platinum, silver, whatever you want in that category. And they got a deal that says, let's see if we can find it here, that they got a price guarantee. If you find a better price, it says call us today and we'll meet it or beat it. Now, how do you beat that? If you find a better price somewhere else, they'll do that. If you use the discount code GreenGregs, you get 1% off. You get a discount. And what I like here is the goldbacks. This is what I like because goldbacks are a fungible, easy to deal with amount of gold. This particular bill here, this one note, it's not meaning $1. It's a lot more than $1 because it's 1/1000th a troy ounce. But you can put this in your wallet and you can buy, it won't be long, but a couple 12 packs of eggs or loaves of bread with it. But you can buy smaller items than your typical gold coins, which are so valuable. So, and it's easy to handle and it's gold. You really can't, there's nobody knows how to counterfeit that yet. So that's the goldbacks. I love them. So check them out, guys. They're good for bartering. Those are also pieces of art. And they change them periodically. See that? You can get 25 notes, 50 notes, 10s, 5s, 1s. You bet the prices will be going up. Yeah, they're pretty. They're beautiful. All right. Let's check it out. Defythegrid.com. I love the name, Defy the Grid. Code GreenGregs, 1% off. So just, you know, have a look at it. All these articles, gold's up. Stocks and silver have something to say about gold, yeah. And here it is, US dollar, first casualty when trade between BRICS countries rise. And well, that's already happening. And why are they doing it? Because they want to attack the dollar. Guys, if you haven't noticed, here's a reality. China is in a current present economic war with the United States. If they weren't in an economic war with the United States, they wouldn't be pushing this BRICS currency. This is done exclusively to dethrone the dollar. That is economic warfare. The whole Belt and Roads Initiative is a geopolitical move, strategic move against the Western world. They are in an economic war with us. I have Trump gold notes. That sounds good, drops. So, hey, there's a Trump store in Show Low, Arizona, guys. I'm excited to see Greg's gardening tips in the high desert. Yeah, well, I'll have to do a garden up there before too long. I got to get my house built first. I'm going back. I think I'm leaving out again Wednesday. So I will be going back for a week or two. I hope to be back here, or either here or at least maybe in Houston with my grandkids on Christmas. One or the other. I got a grandkid and a son here. I got a daughter and 2 grandkids and son-in-law in Houston. So we'll say, oh, don't put that out because I want that to be a surprise for them. So BRICS, UAE, the United Arab Emirates, which, we've really protected for a number of years, ditches U.S. dollar for oil trade. Says not, we're not taking a dollar. Less than 10% of Russian oil is sold in U.S. dollars. That's all some people's got to pay with. So, guys, this is happening. The less demand there is for the dollar, the less it's going to be worth. That's what it boils down to. Venezuela taking the dollar for their currency will help a little bit, but overall, the trend is downward for the USD. You tell me how it's going to do otherwise. There's all these articles coming out saying, oh, it's going to be good. Don't worry about it. The dollar's going to be just fine. How can that be given what's going on? And the proof in the pudding, look at the price of gold. All right, guys. Now we got a white lung situation cooking. This kind of reminds me of 2019, the end of 2019, when some bugs started going around. You remember that? What happened the next year? Remember how ugly that was? Well, this is really insidious because it's attacking our kids. It's attacking our young ones. They think it's some kind of microplasmatic bacterium or something like that, a microplasma. I'm not a medical guy, so well, it's hit Massachusetts, it's hit Ohio, and now it's hitting in New York. This is spreading. It turns your lungs, it creates a white lung situation. The lungs turn to glass, something similar to something some of the cerveza bugs were doing for a while. Although this appears to be something else. But the thing it shares in common is it started where? And at first, these guys over there in this country, run by that lovely, gracious, people-loving party, the CCP, was hiding it. They were burying it, covering it up like they do so many things. And we've had our borders. Well, now they're talking about shutting off immigration for there, but the genie's already out of the bottle. It's here. You might cut it back a little bit by not having so many people coming from there, but maybe we should have done that a lot sooner. As soon as you hear they're sneezing over there, we should probably shut down travel, because they like to sweep things under the rug until it's too late and everybody gets their bug. Sweep under the rug till we all get the bug. That seems to be their policy over there. So I don't know, guys. This is really, this is horrible. I don't know what to say other than keep your immunity up. Take vitamins K2, D3. Make sure your kids have good vitamins. Get out in the sun while they can. Of course, it's getting the winter. It's hardest out in the sun. But there's just a lot of things that people need to do to take care of themselves. I got hit by something when I was out in the desert, and it hit me hard and fast. I was coming down with something serious real quick, and I went out and got me a bunch of stuff with zinc in it, and I got me a generator, sucked it in my CPAP, and I broke it in a couple of days. But boy, I was coughing. I had pain in my throat, my upper chest, but I broke it. But holy smoke, guys! You got to pay a lot of attention to these kind of things. So, 2 U.S. states see the spike. All right, you got to take care of your kids. They're our future. We don't want to lose that. Natural immunity is better than what? I don't even want to say that out loud on this platform. Holy smoke, guys. That's what this article says. According to this article in the Washington Times, well, some of us have been a big fan of that all along. And yet they would tell us that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. Just because you had that didn't mean that you didn't have to take a jab. And that almost cost me my job over a year ago, because I did not go along with that. Maybe that's part of why I'm no longer in the group I was in. I'm a rebel. People who followed the recommendations for the bug are more likely to have mental health issues now. Well, let's see, you lock down, you isolate, you limit your social interactions, you get depressed, get anxiety, and now they're paying for it. Well, guess now we're on the topic of mental health issues. Now, this one, next story, might shock you a little bit. Children with liberal parents more likely to suffer. What? Suffer what? I'm going to highlight it. Because this is one of those articles that this platform probably don't want to hear. Wow. According to this article, so I can't say that it is or isn't true, but look at this. Now, why would that be? Maybe if you're confused about who you are and what you're supposed to do in life and challenging everything, maybe it messes with your head. I don't know. What do y'all think about this? If you agree with this headline, put a 1 in the chat room. I'd like to see what y'all think. If you disagree with this headline, put a 2 in the chat room. Let's see what y'all think. Now, Mr. Governor of California, the governor of California is moving to the middle because there's rumors of White House. You know, Biden kind of suggested that he would be a great guy to take his place. So maybe that was a hint. We may not see Biden on the ticket. It might be this guy. Now, do you think that this zebra is really going to change his stripes, or he's putting a blanket over his stripes? What do y'all think? Ham 37 disagrees with the headline. Let's see, but the rest of y'all are kind of agreeing with it. Jason Smith. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there, buddy. So let's see here. Gavin Newsom moves toward the middle. All right. If y'all think this guy is real and he's really going to be middle of the road, put a 3 in the chat room. If you think that this is a ploy, if you think this is a ploy, a wolf in sheep's clothing, put a 4 in the chat room. If you don't buy this article, put a 4 in the chat room. If you ain't buying this, if you think this is hocus pocus, put a 4 in the chat room. If you think he's really moving in the middle, put a 3 in the chat room. I'd like to see what y'all think about that. So I personally have a hard time thinking this zebra is going to change his stripes. New York City. The violence has really picked up in New York City quite a bit. The shop owners are having real problems with it. See, a lot of 4s. Okay, I'm with y'all. A lot of 4s. A farce, total farce, says David Potter. Yeah, I think there's something fishy about that. But all the media will jump on it and just draw on it forever. Oh, look, Newsom he's middle of the road. He's a nice guy. He's moderate. Wow, that'd be like Trudeau running as a moderate, right? We'll have to talk about that in a minute. So anyway, here, New York City. What is that? Is that what they call shops in New York City? I don't know, guys, but I've been in New York a couple times, but I guess I didn't learn the lingo. So the crime rate is getting out of hand. Well, maybe it's because the policies of catch and release are too liberal, and all the immigration, especially when you open the prison doors in Venezuela and turn everybody loose and send them to America. Well, now New York is getting a taste of it. They're tasting what a lot of red states have been eating for a long time, and now they don't like it. But it's showing the importance of nugs. Oh, I did. I guess I lost to Gavin Newsom, the Trudeau article. There was an article out there claiming that the Canadians are unhappy with Trudeau and he's not likely to survive. What do you think about that, Arnold Smith? Newsom was related to Hillary Clinton. Oh my gosh. So Arnold, the claim that I've seen in the article is that the Canadians are getting fed up with Trudeau and his days are numbered. I hope for my friends in Canada that there's some truth to that, that the Canadians can get out from under the jackboot of Trudeau, Commie Trudeau, Castro Trudeau, Commie Castro Trudeau. I don't know, guys. Let's hope the Canadians can get some relief. Got some good friends up there. I hate to see y'all suffer under that. Anyway, so geomagnetic storm likely on Monday. The sun continues to send eruptions toward Earth. Wow, guys. So let's have a look at that. Space weather. And look at this big coronal hole. It's kicking out a lot of solar wind, in addition to these sunspots that are actively kicking out flares. Wow, guys. So we got an active sun right now, and it's going to get more active because it's not reached the solar maximum yet. They think it'll be there in a year, and maybe we'll have a longer solar They think the solar maximum is getting here early and will last longer than normal now. So, guys, buckle your seats. It could get interesting in terms of things that could take our grid down. Right now, they're talking about storms that might take down the internet temporarily, but that's just trivial compared to what it could do to the grid, to the power grid itself. If you fry enough of those high voltage transformers that weigh 200 to 400 tons apiece, you're not replacing them. You fry too many of them, we're in deep trouble. Deep trouble. And it is possible. It's absolutely possible. They don't talk about that too much, but it is possible. So pay attention. Hey, excuse me, guys. Well, the asteroid report is nothing to be too concerned about. Nothing that's come close to us recently, or that's going to be coming close to us that they know about, in the next several days. So don't tell Ben Banoon, because he thoroughly believes we're about to get wiped out by a swarm of asteroids. So in any event, later, M-class flares, 30% chance, X-class flares, 5%. Because the sun's up, cosmic rays are down, which means the cloud nucleation is down for the moment, which means that can contribute to things seeming to be a little bit warmer right now, to some. That's what happens when you have a solar maximum. Things get warmer. We're talking about the Arctic. Some people are saying the Arctic is warmer. I don't know. I'm having a hard time trusting data sources because I see data sources that claim different things. But if it is getting warmer, it might be in part because of this. So is that going to be a continuing trend? That's down pretty sharp because the sun activity is up pretty high. In any event, you tell me what y'all think. So the auroras they're pretty strong right now, but not hyper strong. But tomorrow might be another story. We're talking about, they've upgraded. It said G2 last time. A strong G3 class geomagnetic storm was underway when Tyler's shift photographed this display from Cottonwood Falls. Oh, yeah, red aurora. Yeah, red aurora is a pretty good strong storm. So what are they expecting? The G1 or G2? Well, that's what they said last time. Could spark a storm from a G1 to G2. Power systems at high altitudes may experience voltage alarms. Long duration storms may cause transformer damage. Corrective action to orientation of the satellites might be needed because we'll have surface charging on the outside of them. HF, high frequency radio propagation, can fade at higher latitudes, and aurora may be seen as low as New York and Idaho, typically 55-degree geomagnetic latitude. So new days, Arnold Smith, maybe even drops, you might be seeing some aurora. Take some photographs. Arnold, that I'd like to see a photograph of if you can get it. All righty. Earthquakes. Guys, don't you look at the Philippines. That's what this outer one is. That's a 7.0. That's an aftershock because this is just the last, day or so. Because this day before they had a 7.7. Well, they got a lot of aftershocks in here in the Philippines. That's hurting them, guys. That is hurting them. You need to pray for the Philippines. The Philippines got an attack at one of their Catholic churches, and the Islamic State has taken credit for that attack in the Philippines on a Catholic church. It might have been I think it was a Christmas celebration they were having. So, of course, Puerto Rico, man, Puerto Rico's always rocking. And we got California down here. We saw one here, same city. Ocotillo, however you say that. This same city had one the last time we did a video, which was about Thursday night. Guys, I'm having a hard time putting these things together. Thursday night was my last video. Big Pine, California. Is that close to Long Valley, Caldera? I don't know. Nevada. Bunch up in Alaska. These might be close to some of you guys. We usually have somebody here from Alaska at this time. Turkey's got a bit. Now, down here is where they were having so many earthquakes before. This is up, getting closer to the strait up there, 5.1. Yeah, so the big news is the Philippines. The rest of these are pretty normal. All right, weather. The West Coast is getting pounded. They're talking rivers of water. I assume this storm will come ashore and bring a lot more. Northern California, Washington State, Oregon, British Columbia, Panhandle of Alaska. Watch out, guys. Y'all are about to get flooded, from what I hear. Absolutely flooded. We got snow up here in the Northeast and the New England states. I guess New Days can tell us all about that snow. How much snow you got, New Days? How deep is it? How deep is your snow? And what are they predicting? Yeah, they do have major earthquakes, Arnold, but that's pretty. 7.7 is a major earthquake. Houghton is 28 degrees. Lincoln, 30. Bangor, 30. Bangor, Maine. Farmington, 28. So, a lot of snow. New Hampshire, Vermont, northern New York. I wonder if you get any coming across the lakes there, so maybe there's some lake effect snow here. That tends to be really deep. Really, really deep. And Huntsville, Ontario is 26 degrees. Little branch of Ontario stretches around there. Montreal is 34. Ottawa, the capital city of Canada, is 32. All right, let's Minnesota, for our good friend up there, Brian Perendi. You got a lot of 20s and a little bit of 30. But you got a 30 degree up here in this area. It's 30. Rest of it's 25, 26 degrees, pretty much. But you got 17 degrees up here on the border of Canada. Iowa, 25. Nebraska in the 20s. Kansas, 30 in Salina, Kansas. Been through there. Wichita, 32. Stillwater, Oklahoma, 39. Tulsa, 41. They're above freezing. By there is above freezing, but not by a whole lot. Huntsville, Alabama is 44. Ardmore is warmer than Huntsville. That's odd. 46. So, kind of between them. Blue Ridge, Georgia, 41. So you got a 40s in there. 50s in the Carolinas. Well, South Carolina, North Carolina's in the 40s. Virginia's in the 40s. Oops. See how Nightman's wife is doing down here, close to Lake City, 68, 68 to Fort White. I think she's in between those two areas. Cocoa Beach is 68. You got to go down to Vero Beach and Palm Beach to get 70, Fort Lauderdale, North Fort. 50s in Mississippi. Oh, we got some 40s in Arkansas. My good friend Michelle is in this area somewhere. 48, some 50s down south. Tyler, Texas is 48. Planet Houston is 55. Cleveland, not Ohio, but Texas, 55. Tomball, 55. A lot of double nickels in this area. Fort Worth and Dallas, 48 and 46. 46 and 48, respectively. Kind of cool down in southern Texas. Alamogordo, 41. Las Cruces, 39. And Snowflake is 28. Cooler than Sholo. Sholo's 30. Snowflake is 28 degrees. St. John's is 30. All righty, guys. You see the difference? Snowflake is 28 in Huntsville, Alabama, which is actually farther north, is 44. Yeah, I'm farther north here than I am when I'm in Arizona, but it's colder. Every time I mention Arizona, everybody just jumps to the conclusion, oh, it's hot. I hear that so much. Oh, even Phoenix is cool. 48 in Phoenix, 50 in Tucson. Wow. See, everything down here is called the Valley to people in northern Arizona. They refer to this as the Valley. But you get up here where you're mile high, it gets cool. So, you know, Phoenix is 48. Snowflake is 28, 20 degrees cooler. 20 degrees cooler and cooler than Huntsville, Alabama. Lost wages is 46, which is decent. Lost Angels is double nickel like Houston. San Fran is 53. Wow, warmer up there. That's unusual. Willow Creek is 46. All right, now we got some rain up here in Oregon. It's not super heavy according to this at the moment. I've heard y'all been hit with some good delusions, but y'all been getting some downpours already. Eugene is 53. I'll change this to rain here in a minute if I can. Rain and thunder. Well, I'm actually on rain. That's why it's showing the colors. So we're here in West Wokistan. True weather is in this area. I think drops is in Washington State. I think you got some 30s up here. 34, 43. Seattle's 44. Olympia's 44. Spokane is 34. And Shuila, how do you say that? 28. All right, you're below freezing up here. Let's slip up the coastline because we got usually a lot of people from Anchorage, Homer, areas of Alaska. Wrangell, Alaska is 41. Sitka is 41. Oh, I think it just shot forward in time. Go back to right now. Come on. There we are. Valdez is 23. Cordova is 32. How do you get a name like Cordova in Alaska, which was started out as Russian? Wasilla, 21. Oh, we got somebody from Wasilla in here. One of you guys is from Wasilla. Hey, Rodney, how you doing? Kenai, 17. Seward, 12. Homer, 30. Oh, it's getting kind of cold down here in around Anchorage. 17 in Anchorage. Wow. It's kind of cool for down in the Banana Belt. That's what we used to call everything south of the Alaska Range. Delta Junction is 1 degree. All right, that's my old hometown right there. Delta Junction, 1 degree. Fairbanks is -1. That's Fahrenheit. Tanana is -1. Let's go for the north. We got any temperatures in the Brooks Range up here? Ding, 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 ding. Where Yukon is 1. Ah, look, it's warmer up here in the north. Barrow 16. Dead Horse is 10. I guess the ocean's moderating the temperature up there. Homer Bay 26. I mean, it's showing me Nome. Nome is 17. Won't hope 17. Interior, it gets colder. Now, we found some cold temperatures in Siberia last time I looked over here. How come I'm not seeing temperatures? We were like -40s. How come it's not showing that? Coldest temperatures I'd seen in a while anywhere. Oh, there we go. Now we get data. The teens. 8, -2, -4. Oops, it shot ahead again time-wise. Go back. Come on. Give me current time. -15 up here. -28 up here. -33. Okay. -51 out here to see. Yeah, it's not as cold as last time we were here Thursday night. Look at this stuff. I think it's daytime over there now anyway. Gotta be daytime in the evening, so things warmed up. Romania 26, Kyiv 28. Oh, quit skipping ahead on me. Minsk, we're looking Chico's at 26. Putinville, Moscow is 19. Peterville. Peterville, that's what I call Moscow. Peterville. Putin. Peterville. Norway, we get people from Norway in here. We got Bergen, however you say it, 28, 7 up here. A lot of variation. 32 up here and 7 over here. 28. Come here and show me Oslo. There's Oslo, 8 degrees. Look up the coast. Not too bad. Not as cold as Alaska. All right. Scotland, Dundee is 35. Inverness 35. Glasgow's 34. London, Leeds is, well, England. Leeds is 37. London's 44. London's pretty warm compared to some of those places. Dublin's 35, though. Ireland's cooler. Belfast 37. Cork 32. Got a cold Cork. Let's go down to down under because we got Rodney and other folks down. Scooby Snacks in the house tonight. $77 an acre. Beirut 73. But Amman, Jordan is 66. Cairo 71. Riyadh in Saudi Arabia 75. Tehran 59. India, it's got 70. It's got a big, a huge storm there going into India. Typhoon, looks like. Check our friends in the Philippines. 80s. All across the Philippines. 80s, well, a few 70s up there. Australia. Weepaw, 86. I'm always saying Weepaw on there. Well, it's summer down, almost summer down there, just a few days away. well, a few weeks, about 2 or 3 weeks from summertime, excuse me, summer. Sydney, 68. Canberra, capital city, 68. '70s, that's kind of cool for the summer. Hobart at 68. That's what Perth is. Perth is 75. We got 102 up here in the desert, 104 there. Alice Springs is 98. That's cool. Got some hundreds. Tennant Creek's 104. All right, we got 107 over here, Wahlberg. Michelle Young. Well, thank you, Michelle. Salute to you. Our first super chat tonight. Thank you. It took me a lot of time to get this together for you guys. Sorry for being late. It takes time to do these. Let's look over here we're about to finish looking at articles, and we're just going to look at the chat room for a few minutes. And it's already almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I got to work a long day today. Christchurch is 53. Dundee is 48. Westport's 53. Good summertime temperatures, huh? Is it getting cooler? What's happening? How are we getting these cooler temperatures? What is going on, guys? All right, that's enough of that. Hey, Lou. Hang a rocket from a balloon and off we go. We've been going for over an hour now because my sand's run out. 86 minutes. All right. So let me check the chat room. Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Salute Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. So far, only super chat for the weekend. Hey, Angie. Angie, you're up late, neighbor. She is here in Tony, right here. The same, and this is not a big city. This is a little community. I'd say it's bigger than Snowflake, probably in numbers. The Snowflake actually has a town center. Tony don't. Well, we had kind of a little center at one time, but it wasn't very big. But we got a lot of people living in the rural areas around here. We got a heavy rural population. So let me go through some of the chat. I don't know if I'm going to read everything here. God promises He will protect His children. Yeah, but He also expects you to do things to protect yourself too. Yeah, deep function 100,000 minus 1. I really don't like it when they put women in the fight. Pyramid 7. Hey, good to see you, Pyramid 7. Great Atlanta. Tracy Broken Wing. 56 years. What are you asking about 56? What is that? People that talked about climate change in 1971 got laughed at. How about that? Debt free for over a decade. That is a good place to be, Drops. I didn't ask for my debt. It was a gift from my ex-girlfriend. That was a wonderful gift to get. Grabbed my credit cards and went to town on them. And then bolted. Left the state because I had a warrant for her arrest. You can leverage money pretty well by investing in smart gold mining companies. Okay. Can't blame them for seeking alternatives to central banking. There you go, LB. That's kind of what we want to do. We want to go outside. That's what about the gold backs. I think it's going to give us an opportunity to have some medium to trade and barter with outside of the system. That's why I like to promote that. You know, our survival communities, we need a currency we can count on. And gold is real money. This fiat stuff is something else. Yes, Lee, talking about the red horses. 79. Well, the red horse is a horse of war. The second horse is red. Oh, 79 to 2007. Crimson Tide. Alabama. What? What are you talking about, S. Lee? Alabama. Crimson Tide. That's red horse. What are you comparing that to Alabama? Alabama. What does that mean? What's that mean, Esley? Hey, we got a $20 super chat from Drops. Gas money. Hey, I'm gonna need that because I'm gonna head back out west hopefully Wednesday. Sadly, Drops. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm gonna need gas money. That's the truth. Thank you, Drops. I appreciate that. All righty. Let's go back up and look at some of the other chats up here. Trying to read through some of this stuff. Oh, we got Rodney in the house tonight, so we're going to open up these little things from Rodney. He sent me something, and I got to figure out something great and wonderful to do with them. We 36 currently, says Drops. Who has the last bad prez? Oh, we got plenty of bad prezes. Oh, you wanted to see Yosemite. I'm sorry. Diamond, I might pull that back up. Hang on. I'll go back and look for Yosemite. Share screen. Ding, 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 ding. I gotta go like Merced, California. I can't exactly type a city in. I've been there. I don't remember exactly. There's Portersville. Let's see. What of these cities is that closest? It's been. I went through Yosemite, but that was back in 1983. Been 40 years since I've been through there, so I don't remember exactly geographically where it is. California, so I think it's somewhere down in here. I remember, yes, it's definitely north of Barstow because I got down to. I went through Bakersfield and Barstow and drove out that way when I was going through in 19. That's the route I took back in 1983, right through there, leaving the state. So, got to be somewhere in this area, I would think. God showed me how it ends. It's all planned. All right, JoJo, you got to tell me more. You're taking the minivan. My big van is out, still out in Snowflake. So, hey, Marcia, we got another super chat. Salute, Marcia. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to take probably my red minivan. If I've got somebody else driving with me, I might take Betsy Blue and a trailer, but I got to figure out something to pack on that trailer that's worth the gas money. Because it's going to take me like $700 worth of gas just to get Betsy Blue out there, and another $700 to get it back. So it's got to be worth like $1,400 on that trailer. So I got to figure out what's worth it to take you out there. I got a guy who might drive out with me, so we might run a little convoy. But eventually Betsy Blue will be heading out there because I got some stuff that's definitely worth the gas money to take you out with Betsy Blue. I got, if I got it out there earlier, I had windows and some other stuff I'd like to take. I got a bunch of tin piled up I could use out there. I need to build a rabbit hutch out there. Maybe the first thing we build outside of the habitat. So, Doc Holiday, 2A, Simplify. Well, thank you, sir. At least about I've been to Old Yeller Tree in Madison County, beautiful country. Well, thank you. All right, so let's see here. Old Yeller many times. Old Yeller was a great novel, but I didn't know it was a location. Willy Wonka heading to bed. Hey guys, let's see what Rodney, before y'all bug out, let me share what Rodney sent. Let me stop the share. Hey, hello. Let's look at what Rodney sent here. I'm going to unwrap them. This comes all the way from Australia. Heavy too. You spent a pretty penny shipping this to Tony, Alabama from Australia. these look nice already. They haven't pulled it out. He's got that expensive duct tape on here, not cheap stuff. Let's say that. This is the Gorilla version, looks like. This is the tough duct tape. Duct tape, not duct tape. Ah. Got two beautiful things here, beautiful presents here. Wow. So let's look at these. Beautiful. What? Oh, just look at the leather. Just look at the leather, guys. Wow, the leather is amazing. The leather is amazing. Now look at this, though. Wow. Wow. Look how thick it is. I know this thing is shaved. Oh, yeah, she's sharp. I could shave my beard off with it. Should I do that? Live? So the suggestion was to raffle this off to you guys or come up with some kind of auction. I got another idea potentially. Hang on. I got an alternate idea. Because raffles can get you in trouble here in the States. I had a good friend, Jim, what's his last name, who tried to raffle tickets to the Mir space station. He actually had to deal with Russia to buy a flight. And he was going to raffle these off. And he went on the news to try to do that. Or he actually went out to do that. And he got put in prison by the Fed. That's not an eye. Oh, yeah. And here's another one. Here's another one, guys. Again, look at that leather. Look how thick that is. The stitching, some serious stitches here. This stuff ain't going to come apart, guys. This stuff will last a lifetime. The stuff that Rodney makes is heirloom. This will last a lifetime. Look at that. Yeah, look at the steel here, guys. There's notches in here. The handiwork. He hand makes these, guys. He hand makes, and this got a little bit of a grip surface. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Simply gorgeous. Put a leather strap through this. See ya. So I've been kind of inspired by the Off Grid with Doug and Stacy channel. Those guys are giving away once again a Ford F-150. This is at least their second one they're giving away. Maybe they do it every month now. I don't know. They give away a Ford F-150, but now they got like for over 300,000 subscribers, maybe a million. I don't know. They're a huge channel. So their conditions for their giveaway is you have to watch all their videos and you got to watch them through. And you've got to register. And then they do a drawing of the people that register. I think I forgot all the tenets of their contest. I entered for the first one they gave away. And I did watch all their videos. They're all worth watching. They put out a lot of good content. Been it for 5 years. Wow. Shows you're really good at it. You're really good there, Rodney. So what they do is try to get people to watch their videos for a longer time. And view time is money on YouTube. And for a channel, if you can increase the view time, it could really help a lot. So for them, that is profitable enough on their channel. Now, I'm nowhere near that category, guys. I am nowhere up there like those guys. I can't do what they do, but maybe I do something similar for my skill, and these knives might be a good way to do it. They give away a truck, a Ford truck, brand new Ford truck. And they've done it now. At least this is their second giveaway, at least, maybe more. So it's pretty interesting. So I might come up, a lot of times I will throw words out like code words. And, I used to do this just to see if you have watched. I said, well, what, or pictures. I said, what was the last picture or the second to last picture I showed in the video? Or I'd say something and I'd say, to show that you've watched this video this far, say this in the chat. So in this case, we'll do a little test. For all you people that watch the video to this point, and all you guys here on live will say this, but I wonder how many people aren't live with us that would say this later. Say the word hourglass. Put it in the chat in the notes after the video, the word hourglass. And I'll know that you were watching this at the end of the video. But if I want to set up a registration system or a raffle or something like that, I've got to figure out how to go in and set all that up. Even a Doug and Stacy style registration system, they were using the internet for that. So I got to figure out how to set that up. Maybe somebody like New Days, who's really good with stuff like that, can figure that out for me, because I'm about to head out west. I'm gonna be real busy trying to get this building done. So I'm not probably gonna have time to do that immediately. But yeah, the idea of having a giveaway, I've toyed with the idea. Maybe I'd give away a pound of worms sometimes. But not everybody. A lot of you would love that, but some of you don't want a pound of worms. But who wouldn't want, one of these? Anybody could use these. I mean, these say this has got belt loop attachment, so it's a good hunting implement. A good thing to take out in the field with you. So does this. Either one could be taken out in the field. This might be good for dressing game, or that would make a good kitchen knife even. So, shoot, this is sharp. All these knives he makes are really, really sharp. They're really beautiful, nice instruments. Hourglass, that's it. We'll put it in the, so especially with all you coffee club guys, if you watch this video for this long, which is an hour and 2 minutes, I'd be curious to see who's done that. Put the word hourglass in the notes on the comments after the video post. All you are here now, so y'all know that. I would totally take worms and knives. Hey, Tracy. So, maybe something like that I'll have to figure out. Maybe garlic or turmeric one day. I'm not growing enough of that to give away right now. My garlic harvest was a lot smaller than normal this year. And I don't have so much turmeric as I used to. Maybe I can restore all that when I get out west. And I don't know how the worms are going to do out there. My biggest problem with worms here is I got a huge problem with moles. And I spent tens of thousands of dollars to try to stop them. And it's like the moles are unstoppable here. But there's no moles out there. There's rats, but there's no moles. Stop eating asphalt and delivering that chicken and whatnot. You talking about AB? All right, AB, be nice. How you doing, AB? All right, everybody, let's play nice with each other. How's trucking going? Okay, you two know each other. All right, y'all banning amongst yourselves. All right, whatever. So, oh yeah. So was Esley talking about Alabama? Well, I don't know about Alabama, but Crimson Tide. For you locals, for you locals here that are in the room, roll Tide. Alabama just beat Georgia, who was rated #1. And Alabama was rated #8, probably underrated. So Alabama just took Georgia. So be interested to how all that plays out. Need to harvest turmeric. You grow turmeric up there in Washington State? Drops? Are you serious? You can grow it up there? Hourglass, not hourglass, Jacob. Yeah, it's just a word to see, test who's watched it so long. That's the 8. ATE #8. AB is a truck driver. Okay. Got it. Got it. So AB, I'm hooked on 4 loads each week. I'll make it, but a lot of OO are going out. So, yeah, I imagine trucking's getting to be a lot harder these days. Boy, I've been going through these truck stops and staying at some, going back and forth. And my closest shower to where I live at Snowflake that I can get is about 50 miles away in Joseph City. So that's a good long drive to take a shower, but that's at another truck stop. Yesterday, I don't know if I'd associate Odin with Saturn because Odin didn't eat his children in Norse mythology. Ask Thor or Ballador, who was taken out by Loki. All righty. So yeah, maybe I did notice a lot of foreign drivers. So I bet you guys got a lot of competition in trucking these days. A lot of foreign drivers. A lot. So that was interesting. My older brother, was a truck driver for a while. Tie rod goes from one side of the car to the other. Yeah, I got problems on my van with the idler arms on the one that I left out there. That's why I didn't drive it back. I've got an appointment on the Monday after I get back to get that worked on. Finger eats me and the gods. Yeah, the wolf. All right, fuel prices are lower currently. That helps. That will help me on the drive, especially if I take Betsy Blue. Betsy Blue gets a whopping 6 miles a gallon with that 454 engine, pulling that big steel bed on the back of 1-ton truck. Apologize for the crazy text. Okay. All righty, folks. I get that. All right, we got 201 watching. We actually came back up. We got more people watching now. Must be people waking. Oh, dang, it's 4 a.m. No wonder it's 5 on the East Coast. Yikes, guys. I got to get in bed. I got a long day tomorrow. I got to work a long time tomorrow and the next day. And I got to be able to focus on some very detailed electronics and failure modes and effects analysis. So I got to keep focused. I have to drink a lot of coffee. That's what goes bad when I get started so late in here. So, yeah, Petro is down a little bit right now here. If the Hormuz Strait gets stopped, it's going to go up. If the Red Sea shipping is probably shutting down because the Houthis attacking ships, that's going to cause a lot of ships to not go through the Suez Canal. They're going to try to go around Africa instead. The fuel costs for doing that are enormously higher, and ship fuel costs are pretty darn high. Rented a utility boat back 20 years ago, launching a hybrid rocket from a balloon. And I think just for a couple, 3 days out at sea in the Gulf of Mexico, I had to pay about $1,200. This is back in around the year 2000, 23 years ago. My fuel bill was something on the order of $1,200, if I recall correctly, and a utility boat, which wasn't an enormous ship. So if you got to take these ships all the way around Africa, you got a lot more time, a lot more wages, a lot more risk, and lots higher fuel cost, and a big delay to get product to market. So that's going to be a huge impact on a lot of prices. I think there's a lot of tankers go through there. Some ships go through there and then go out the Strait of Gibraltar and come to America. So that's going to increase the price of goods shipped through that area quite a bit. That's not good. And so you can expect some inflation, maybe some product shortages, especially in Europe. Europe can be really hard hit by that. So yeah, things are not looking good over there. The wars break things, including economies, countries, people. Wars are horrible. There's nothing wonderful about a war, but you have to defend yourself. You always got to defend yourself. If you forge like a blacksmith, I shape and grind. There you go. Well, I've actually got a blacksmith forge. Maybe I'll set it up in Arizona and use it one day. So I had time to mess with it. But I actually have a blacksmith forge. I got the old hand crank blowers, old ones. They're over 100 years old and they still work. So long live fossil fuels. There you go, Johnny Edwards. I started to put an article up on EV vehicles, and I didn't put it in my collection today. Yeah, the word on the EVs is that the sales are down. Nobody wants them. The sales are going down. The demand is dropping, and yet the administration is trying to push them. So it's putting a real hard squeeze on the automakers and the dealerships because they're sitting there with a lot of inventory that nobody wants. Wow, Greg. Wow, what, Rodney? Long John. Let's see. Hello, John Towards. Okay. Yeah. Massive comet. Someone says about Millennium Falcon might be visible. Yeah, I hope we can see this one. That'd be nice. Love to see a comet in the sky. Hale-Bopp was hanging in the sky when we launched our Halo Sky Launch 1 mission from Topsail. That's what the locals call it. Topsail. It's spelled Topsail Beach, North Carolina. And I got in the Guinness Book of World Records, guys. So I'm a Guinness Book holder. Some organization, HAL 5. So we launched a rocket from a balloon into space as an amateur group back in 1997, spun off a company called the Altitude Research Corporation. There's been a lot of spinoffs from that. Virgin Galactic's engine was a spinoff from that. You could even argue that the Dream Chaser got profit from that. So how did I know she was African? Short curly hair. Oh, who you saying's African? What's that got to do anything? I got a daughter who's half African, and she's in Africa right now. My youngest daughter, she's in South Africa. Anyway, guys, alrighty, folks, we're going to go. We've been here a long time, and we got 203 in the room, and only 145 thumbs up. Guys, give some thumbs up, please. Throw some thumbs up. Good to see Cha Cha. Everybody pray for Cha Cha. She's had a hard time, lost her home. Pray for Granny. Pray for New Days recovering from surgery. We don't have anyway. Sasquatch man. Yep. So, folks, thank you, super chatters. I really appreciate it. Thank you, mods, for keeping the channel clean. Thank you, New Days, for sharing links the way you do. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I appreciate you all. We are family. Always remember, as light dispels darkness, love dispels hate. Go out and shine your love light in the world. It's how we make a difference. It's how we turn things around. I'm here to help you survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. But more than that, we want to keep things glued together as much as we can as everything blows asunder. We need to try to at least maintain our little part of the world as best as we can do. So prayers for all. Thank you for that, Rodney. That's what we try to do here. We try to be a little proactive to an ounce of prevention is worth a gallon of cure. That's when I started freedomrestorationfoundation.org, and we started the Survival Network, which she's not with us, I don't think, tonight, but Wise Owl actually paid a lot of money to set up a website for that, survivaltribenetwork.com. Check that out, guys. Join, get involved. Form your own local survival tribes if you can. Try to locate people in your area. I got a lot of good friends out in Arizona. I think I got a survival tribe coming together there real nicely. So again, I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you all, and all in one.